Hey, what's up? It's Jake. Today I'm going to do a video on remotely running commands on an EC2 instance. I previously built a WordPress blog we got up here that we're going to run a yum update, but we're going to pretend I don't have SSH access, even though I do. Um, and we're going to try to see if we can run yum update remotely. So to do this, we're going to use AWS Systems Manager. It's an always free tool you can use to remotely run commands on your instances. You can do it to one instance or all your instances. It's very, very convenient. Um, and you can get insight, take action on resources safely, and like I said, at scale. So this essentially eliminates the need for bastion hosts, SSH, remote PowerShell, any of that stuff. So I already went over our scenario, and really all we need to do is create a role and make sure that there's an instance with that role. And so I have this instance, and what I went ahead and did was I attached a role. I created the role in the instructions. No, not documentation. I created the role in the instructions, which are here. So you just create a role, select EC2, search for this name, Amazon EC2 role for SSM, and then next in review. There's a section where you're going to you can skip the add tags. That's not in the instructions. You can skip that, and then you can just skip the add tags. Next in review, give it a role name. You can copy and paste this, and then the role description, copy and paste this, and create the role. Once the role is created, you'll just go over to your instance and select it, go to Actions, Security, and then Modify IAM role, and you can attach it here, which is exactly what I did, and then save it. And then once you have it saved, if you select it and go to Security tab, you'll see the IAM role right here. So that's how you get through steps 1 and 2. I mean, if you want to create a new instance, you can. There may be problems with doing it with an existing instance, so I'll play nice and just do it this way. Okay, T2, configure instance details, web server, VPC. That's good, that's good, that's good. Okay, add storage, add tags, configure security group, existing, demo, review and launch, and then somewhere in here, there's IAM role instance details. Let me edit this. I missed this part. So in the role, we're going to choose this enable EC2 to access Systems Manager role, review and launch, launch, existing key pair. We'll choose the WordPress key pair, acknowledge, launch instance, view instances. All right, so now I got this guy. Let's just do SSM test. And that's go ahead and running. So now I've got a new instance running that we can test, and I got my existing instances we can test. So now what we need to do is in step 3, update the Systems Manager agent. So we go to Services, and then go to the Systems Manager, or you can just type it Systems Manager in the top. And then under Shared Resources, the way the documentation reads is that you should have an option for Manage Instances. Now, I do not have this option, so I started setting this up because we want to use this run command, right? This is node management, so we want to use the run management, but it's in progress. So there's our in progress guy. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and then I'll come back and we'll go ahead and get started with SSM. All right, looks like we're all finished up here. There's no more commands running, but if you go in the command history, you can see it ran here 1808 GMT, and the IP 10.0080 is the new instance that I created. And if I go to the previous one, update agent, it's a 10.0060, which is the IP of my private IP of my WordPress blog. So that's good. So it looks like it ran. If you attach the role to an existing instance, it goes ahead and it ran. And if you do a new one, it ran. I did restart my WordPress blog since I attached the role just in case it needed to install anything or whatever it required a restart. So now on the actions dropdown, select run command. Okay, so this is a little different. So what I did was under node management, I clicked run command. And then from here, there's just an option to run command. Okay, so the documentation's a little outdated. The UI's been updated since then. So I'm going to run command. And then it says on the run command page, click in the search bar and select document name prefix, and then click on equals, and then AWS update SSM agent. Document name prefix, AWS. Where are you at? Equals. Hang on a sec, someone at my door. Okay, so anyways, you're going to copy and paste the AWS update SSM agent and click on the radio button left of this guy. I just copied and pasted it. I don't see it in here. There's like a multiple pages or whatever, but update. I'm guessing you can just copy and paste it, but back one. What are you called? You're called update SSM agent. AWS dash, right? AWS dash update SSM agent. There it is. So we're going to select this radio button. So document name prefix equals AWS update SSM agent. Okay. It's going to upgrade the system manager agent, and we're going to scroll down to targets and check the box next to the managed instance. So I'm going to leave this document version as is. This is all command parameters are optional. Targets specify instance, and tags you can choose them manually, which is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try both. Okay, and then this is optional, timeout, all that stuff. You can just scroll down and hit run. Output goes to an S3 bucket. You can choose. Again, this is all completely different, so I'm just going to enter an S3 bucket. Now we'll just choose one. We'll just choose this guy. Optional, don't need CloudWatch logs. I don't need SNS notifications or CLI. So I'm going to hit run, and now it's in progress. So instead of logging into each instance and running a yum update or whatever on each instance for this SSM agent, I'm able to just come in here and select all my instances and just run it. So this is there, it succeeded, and that's it. So the next 4 is run a remote shell script. So I can do Systems Manager under shared resources like manage instance, action run command. It doesn't look like that's also in the same place, so we'll check this out. Let's see, shared resources. So again, shared resources really only has documents. So I'm going to go under node management and try it under here. So managed instances and select actions. So there's no managed instances on here. There is an inventory, so maybe it's under here. Here's my inventory. I can do, I'll probably just go straight to run managed or run command. Run command, and I'm going to do, let's see, document prefix equals AWS run shell script. Okay, so document prefix equals AWS, look, run Ansible playbook, there's all kinds of stuff. We want to run shell script. There we go. The commands, I'm just going to run sudo yum update -y and spell update correctly. Okay, and you could do all kinds of stuff in here. I don't know if it needs a bin bash or not, but we'll just pretend that it does. Yeah, that's what they wanted me to do anyway. So yeah, you don't need a shebang or bin bash or anything like that up top. You can just type it directly in there. If you need to set a working directory, you can do that. I'm going to choose my instances manually and just do both again. and then leave all this other stuff. I'll go ahead and throw it in this bucket and then hit run. It's in progress. And you can rerun these too, which is kind of nice. So if you have this saved, you can just rerun it real quick, or if it fails and then you need to go fix something and then rerun it, you can do that as well. So while it's running remotely, the overall status is in progress, and soon it will be success. So we see here in progress, and then as soon as it's done, it should report back that it's complete with the status and then update it to success. From it says output page, you can view the output on the instance. All right, cool. So we can try that. So let's refresh this guy. Succeeded. All right, so here's my WordPress blog. If I select this, view output, here's my output. No packages marked for update. Then you can download that. Like I said, it's all in S3. So if I wanted to go to S3 and go to my Nimbus DevOps bucket, all the output should be saved there. So your Nimbus DevOps, and here's my run jobs basically. And you'd have to look, well, I didn't look at it beforehand, but which job name and instance ID have standard out. So here's the file, and you can provide object URL or whatever for this. Like I can try opening up. Yeah, I didn't give myself permission to do this, but this is where the standard out file would live, and so you could ingest this somewhere else, or if you needed it for auditing or logging or compliance or whatever, that's all right there for you. We're going to skip terminate resources because I'm going to continue using these. Actually, I will terminate that one dummy instance that I made, and I'll just leave my WordPress blog for future use. We can just keep using that one. So if you, Northern California, let's go to Virginia. If you don't see your instances, make sure you're in the right region. All right, so let's terminate this sucker. So that's how you remotely run commands on EC2 using AWS Systems Manager. Again, it does not require SSH access or PowerShell, or anything like that. You can do everything from there. It's all using an IAM role. Everything's auditable. It's all logged to S3. You can set up SNS topics for notifications. It's a pretty nice tool if you're running things native inside of AWS. So there's a lot of other ways to do this with third-party tools if you don't want to have that vendor lock-in on this particular feature. But as far as this goes, hey, now you know how to use Systems Manager. You've seen what it does, how it can scale, how fast it is, and that it's a lot more secure than giving everybody access via SSH. So if you have any questions, let me know. But if not, I'll see you in the next one.